Since the late 1800s, when US rubber company Keds released the first ever mass-produced sneakers, both the passion and the marketplace has never been as big as it is right now. And that means money. Reselling sneakers as we know today to make profit on increased demand started as a side business for a few select budding entrepreneurs a decade ago, but has since grown into something we never could have imagined, $1 billion business. Over the past 10 years, the market has continued to grow at a fast pace and is fueled by sneakerheads and lifestyle, sports and hip-hop cultures. Culture is the characteristics of a particular group of people defined by everything from language, social habits, music and arts. Before sneakers were culturally relevant, they were primarily used for athletic purposes, specifically basketball. The rise of hip-hop group Run DMC was crucial in the sneakers transition from the garment to cultural staple. In this next short clip, we can see Run DMC performing My Adidas while the crowd proudly holds their Adidas sneakers above their heads. The period in which the origins of sneaker reselling can be traced back to is a time known as the golden era of sneaker reselling, which stretches back from the early 2000s to about 2007. Sneakerheads would purchase limited edition pairs of sneakers by camping outside a store the night before the release date, and as a result of the shoe being released in such a limited quantity, then sell the sneaker on themselves for 2 to 3 times its retail price. The buyers of the second-hand sneaker are typically people who did not get an opportunity to get the product themselves firsthand. When this fad began, sneakerheads began to realize that the demand for these limited edition pairs severely outweighed the supply and saw an opportunity to increase their profits tenfold. So how do we get from a few young entrepreneurs reselling sneakers in order to pay for their own collection to thousands of people across the globe making full successful careers as resellers? It is now easier than ever to buy and sell sneakers with the introduction of StockX, the sneaker stock market app. Here's a quick BBC News clip of co-founder Josh Luber explaining the app.
StockX because it's a marketplace essentially, and you run it sort of along the same lines as a stock exchange, which means that the price of these things are determined by supply and demand.
Exactly. I mean, we are a marketplace, and we happen to be the largest marketplace in the world for sneakers and streetwear and some other products, but the reason why is because it works the exact same way that the world's stock markets work. And there's a lot of nuance of that. But if you think about it, about the concept of true market value, right? You know exactly what thing is worth because it's a function of supply and demand.
As you can see from these figures, Adidas and Nike manufacture some of their most popular sneakers for minuscule prices in comparison to their retail price. These profit margins act as an economical motivation to the major brands in the market to keep the culture thriving. In 2015, the resale market was $1.2 billion. Nike, including the Jordan brand, accounted for 96% of all shoes sold on the secondary market. The profit on this secondary market is approximately a third, meaning sneaker resellers made $380 million selling Nikes in 2015. To compare these figures made by Nike's customers, we're going to take a look at retail. In early 2015, Skechers replaced Adidas as the number 2 footwear brand in the US, and in that year their net income was $209 million. These figures show that in 2015, Nike's customer made almost twice as much as their closest competitor. If Nike wanted to kill the billion-dollar secondary market tomorrow, they could. All they would have to do is to release more sneakers, but resellers certainly don't want that. Nor is it in Nike's best interest. Nike shoes that sell for $10,000 do so because they are so rare. In producing these rare sneakers, brands such as Nike are creating a cultural mythos surrounding the sneaker as a precious commodity that raises their social capital amongst their peers. Whether this is done purposely or not, it could be argued that the brands involved in the oligopoly of the sneaker industry are rather easily exploiting low culture for exponential profits. However, for sneakerheads, this is their culture. May it be a corporate construct or not, from the eye of the entrepreneur, it has provided many with a market in which they can participate in passionately and provide for themselves and their families.